everybody waiting. They read it so well. That want of trading a kill back, getting something on their side. And look at the way they're approaching this. Kang is on the other side of the map. He's still punishing less. EDG, this is stunning.
You never get a solid indicator for what EDG are going to do in the early round.
Because Kang's an army by himself.
Exactly.
He took down the pit, he took down Sadak, he explores further, he finds less. That could have been an A take. It wasn't, but it could have been.
So it comes back to that point once again. EDG just have so many options in the early round. Loud, lacking a bit of composure here in terms of the bigger picture. And it's,
the legs.
It's tough, but Loud have to take the initiative in some of these rounds.
Well, I kind of liked it, right? When they started to play out a little bit deeper towards A, testing what's behind that smoke, exploring late, punishing that B kind of, I guess, adjustment. But then once we go into this round, I mean, you're trying to trade a kill back at that point. They were so set up for it.
Enemy kill.
Oh!
One enemy remaining.
EDG are running rings around Loud right now.
It's not even close.
You see Aspas come online. Sitting at 2 and 8, obviously, usually the power play you consider in a match like this versus a hyper-aggressive team.
This is just still, yes, chip damage there, but we need 2 to go beyond that, and he's not going to. It's now down to just 2, and Kang is just striding through towards the site. Taking all that space away. Yes, Les can fill a little bit of the gap, but the timing's going to be rough. Okay, he's got a little bit of a window to play with. The Frenzy, maybe he gets a chance to work. Neither are watching this angle. Timing's actually on his side there. Nice attempt on the adjustment, but if it was a rifle, maybe something else could have happened. It's not. Sadak needs to deliver miracles on this. Sheriff, 2 big players against him. Chi-Chu, feeling like one of the unsung heroes of this team. Hard to share the limelight with someone like Kang, but still, certainly showing his value. Potential rifle there, but time is against him.
Does have the Poison Orb and the Snakebite to work with, but doesn't want to give his position away just yet, yeah.
High-low, not gonna happen. Let's kind of take stock here, Mike, because Loud took a gamble, took a risk going to this map. And it looks like it's absolutely going wrong.
Yeah, I guess it's difficult to really categorize this without having the context from the inside of how they felt about the veto. If this was, they liked something they saw versus Liquid and felt like they could maybe exploit this. And here, obviously, with this start, they don't have the benefit of finances to back up. Yeah. Take some risks in the early round, take some engagements. So there's lots of questions here about what the approach actually was to bring this. EDG, though, have just come out of the gate swinging.
They look flat for Loud as well. If you're talking the mental game, and I kind of touched on this earlier, that EG game, EG are very hard to play against currently because, as said, pistol bonus, and then you kind of run into the buy rounds. But I feel like Loud have never had a solid start in this. They've gone from one very compounding game to another. But EDG, credit to them, they've just turned up and played their own game. I don't think they've been particularly pressured. We haven't seen a single player having like a pop-off round. They've had no bailouts for Loud here.
It's funny as well to hear Kung talking about respecting Loud as a team and Aspas as an individual, and then just not seeing that.
That's the way you want to see it, though, right? Because it's a genuine thing, though. The boy player, you've had them in finals. They've won some of these events before. Has been absent here. Again, regular season over in NA, fabulous performance. Correct all of those issues. Come here, and it's been. Now, I don't think this map was probably the best. Once you speak to the coaches, you see their intention. I think putting Loud into a further unknown worries me, because the entirety of this is Loud basically playing into unknowns, right? We had EG on. It's a very small sample size, keep in mind. While I waffle, there is a tech pause. again, the EG game, I think EG were playing above their station so far, so a little bit of an unknown quantity, right? They came in with such momentum, very hard to kind of manage that. Now you play up against EDG, another team, high momentum, high confidence, and you've given yourself the unknown of a map that isn't safe for you. There's no comfort here for Loud.
Well, again, just touching on further into the veto, we then go to Fracture, where EG absolutely spanks Loud.
Yes.
They barely had a say in that map. EG ran away with that so early on, and we were crediting that towards Aspas being way ahead of the curve, Loud kind of forgetting early round protocols, not investing in utility, setting Aspas up. He was still delivering numerically, but it wasn't really being converted into rounds or any sort of consistency across it. So you come out here with the Lotus pick, and this almost felt like it needed to be one-sided for Loud.
Yes. If we're talking about
if Fracture versus EG was an anomaly, but it's a red flag.
Because it's poured through to this, hasn't it? This hasn't just felt like one map being wrong or one opponent over-delivering. Yeah, EDG are playing a fantastic game. I don't want to discredit them in any regard for that. Like, they are playing very, very well. But I don't think any of what they've been bringing was tested. It wasn't pushed yet. We saw one round them address one side of the map.
Well, especially here as well, if you bring Lotus out and you're relying on your prep, is that applicable to the way EDG play? Because they're playing very unorthodox.
Yes.
They're doing some things that, like I said, they're just going to keep Loud guessing. And we haven't really seen any set pieces executed here from Loud. Finances, round score aside, yes, it's not really going to enable them to take many risks. But if you were going to play this veto heavily reliant on prep, you don't get the opportunity now. That's it. That ship
That's gone out the window.
Yeah, that ship has sailed.
Long ago. And to kind of add to that, if we're going to compound problems, we're speaking very realistically as this, I think is just going back live now, so we can kind of pause that for now. But we haven't had that big Kang round. We haven't had that massive Chi-Chi round yet. They're just playing a good game of Valorant. This hasn't been a singular performance. It hasn't just been one player having those pop-off moments.
And we've had basically one example of, let's call it a set piece, an adjustment on the side of Loud, which is around the pit. Yes, they looked to heavily anchored or pressure towards Mound, and it was shut down immediately. Loud have just not had any semblance of stability. No opportunity to really be decisive in these rounds.
And here comes the switch up. Sadak's got to be really careful here. He's instantly under pressure. They are close to the gap. The Seeker's going to isolate and find out where he is. The fight's there for Kang as well. He wants it. Blades pop. It's less to find Chi-Chu, but he's right there with him. This is his sight until Aspas finally makes a little bit of magic happen for himself. They're fighting back for this one. Loud not letting them take the space away. And finally turn up to the fight.
Under confidence builders versus EDG. Shutting them down, winning out in a scrappy engagement. Almost looked like Sadak was going to get caught off guard then. A number of times he's readjusting that poison orb. Kang is just so quick, man. Loud build upon this now. Paranoia going to be sent here. EDG is stacked up once again, Lauren.
We're talking about brawls. Let's see if it continues for Loud, though. They won one of them finally. Haldong's in danger, actually. This is good. The full-on flash. Oh, it's caught him. Aspas was blinded, had to fall away. Another bit of utility, just forcing him back and back and back. But Aspas, is he the one to save them? Kang's dead. There he is, finally coming alive. Aspas holding the ground. Nobody's willing to fight, though. They are up for the challenge. They feel no fear. Oh, and there you can see why. Beautiful shot towards Aspas. Oh, and another response. Sadak is there, but nobody has given himself a 1v1. 1 minute on the board, less against him.
By his teammates here.
Got a flash.
Trailblazer to work with as well.
D-side.
The turret would have spotted any push through from Spawn.
10 seconds left.
Nobody going to opt for a safe plant here on 8. Lockdown and a nano swarm available. Less. What does he invest here?
He's got a bit of kit on this one. Nobody's seen him. He's been seen right back, but the HP's lower for nobody. There's the lockdown. You got to play this right. Do not.
Less.
You are mad.
Dancing with death. Behind a snappy one tap.
taking risks at this point. Bloody hell, it's a lifeline for Loud. Very close round.
That's 2 now on the board. Well,
Yep.
they've won out in a scrap, and this looked like EDG were almost about to turn this back. Aspas goes huge to shut this down. Oh. Another confidence builder for Loud. 3-round deficit. A stark contrast potentially here in the outcome. The final scoreline, if this wallbang connects, is going to be heartbreaking.
Oh,
Aspas.
Okay. Oh, he's
Takes
down
a big
28.
tag.
Yeah, he's very low here. Counting's close enough by. He should be able to get him back up to a decent amount of HP, but this buys time. And you can look at what EDG are doing. They're trying to explore the rest of the map while Loud try and get themselves back up to fighting form. Already split through towards B, a little testing over towards Mound. Big impact just off that Guardian alone.
They needed a spark, and these 2 scrappy rounds, please put them back in contention for this half. A 7-5 will feel like a miracle for Loud.
Going to come over a little later this time. No pixel noted though. Let's see Kaunzin drifting a little closer towards A-Long, but you can see the Seekers forge the trail through towards B, and there's the fair fight, but Smoggy wins this one out, spots out Tui's as well. The Seeker giving him so much space. Flash, yes! The shorty! Oh, the follow-up! They don't fight alone here, EDG swarming the site, and Sadak and less feeling a mile away, and Chichu's position should be the death of Sadak. Let's give it a damn good go. It's not going to happen. How long's that? And look, the scoreline actually giving Loud a little bit of room. Not a lot, but a little.
There's something at least to cling on to here. I mean, the spacing is just, talking about uncharacteristic things we're seeing time and time again from Loud. They can't get this trade on the last round, and it just spirals out of control so quickly, Lauren.
Certainly does. And keeping us in control will be the desk.
Thank you so much for that, and wow, I mean, if there's one thing that we learned from this without a doubt is that EDG's here to play, and Loud just gave themselves a little bit of a lifeline to work with, but not what I was expecting going into the half.
Yeah, Loud now the second team to adopt this Cloud9 Neon Sky comp on this map, and the second, I think, to kind of, I feel like, miss some of the strongest points of them. Loud was constantly going for these A-lobby brawls where they're full committing with their paranoia, with their Neon running in to take that space really early in these rounds, and it kind of made it so they were flipping these rounds really early on, and I think that can be a mistake with this composition. One of its biggest strengths is the ability to have your Neon and your Sky rotating in the mid-round, re-clearing space, using those stuns to stall out executes, almost like a breach. You can just run really fast across the map. When you're going aggressive like that against this double duelist Omen comp, EDG can just get aggressive ahead of that, teleport past you, and punish those aggressive plays as they did so many times.
Exactly. That round 4 was a perfect example. On the previous round, EDG saw the aggression and they were like, okay, we're out. On the next one, we're going to actually have a reaction to that. You have that double duelist. It's going to be easy for you to be snappy, to be explosive. Also Loud using that retake wall over to B and C. Like, the plan was very obvious and is something that fell a little bit flat. I think it was only one round that we saw them taking a different initiative. On the other side, we're seeing an EDG that is bringing what we expected, late round executes. Now going into their defense, though, we need to address the fact that that double duelist is there, and obviously the Cypher as well.
Yeah, 33% win rate for them on this half of the map. It is definitely the weaker one. So this is doable for Loud. Well, it wasn't a great first half. It was individual moments that got them those rounds. 4 is enough to make a comeback happen here. I think this Neon cap can be quite strong on the attacking side. You can flood through that Killjoy utility. And I think for EDG, they'll be forced into playing a retake a lot.
Yeah, well, these next 2 rounds that are coming up here could be critical for Loud to just get them right back into the game. Anything is possible to send it right back over to Pansy and Hypok.
Now we get to find out the reality of, is 4 rounds enough? The desk was describing it, you know, the EDG face some issues now with this composition coming into this half.
But I think Loud do as well. Talk about Chichu already making a name for himself here in Tokyo, but also the Cypher kind of counters Aspas's ability to freely enter site. We'll have to see if that is something that causes some issues, because they're heading straight towards the setup right now. Unless his turret doesn't get the info.
No, but they are taking a lot of room here.
Dealt with.
Yeah, that's one down. One more to go. Chichu took a little
Ton of
careful there,
damage.
yeah.
Bot coming back.
And who was it on this? It's Howdong with him as well. Now, there's a lot of pressure, but then no commitment initially. Maybe seeing if EDG re-clear. For now, Howdong's just holding. Thinking that no one slipped through, and no one has.
Didn't catch it, actually, if Les's turret was destroyed or he recalled it because he was out of range.
There it is. Okay, so like a contact piece was being brought in. Not going to find the value it wanted here, Chichu. Does he get away? How much does he get away with? Does he just get some timing? Just the best timing in the world. Slips a little closer, down on 1 HP though. Had to wait for that to come back up. Counting's got the punish. And Loud with this double pump towards the A side. It's worked out well. Les trying to hold this back line. Clean on that shot towards Smoggy. Shutting, yeah, hunted down. Okay. This is still a lot to do though. That's 4 players to clear on this side. He'll smoke off Sadak and look to find a player watching that cross towards him. Nicely done so far by Loud. Nobody gonna go of it. The 4 HP. Oh dear, not gonna be enough. Loud. Stay alive with 2. Do what they need to, making it up to 5.
Slow approach here, and I said Loud have to be conscious of sniffing out where Chichu's setups are, create a little bit of space. Yes, open up these choke points for Aspas. Yeah, curious if actually I'll want to run this through with a couple of rifles or actually invest fully SMGs across this. It will just be 3 actually. A Ghost and a Frenzy to round things out.
Okay. What do we have on the other side? I'm just seeing a Sheriff, Ghost for nobody, and that's about it. So, by all rights, Loud should have probably the cleanest round thus far. Get themselves up towards 6. A couple of orbs here and there. Lovely day in the office. But there is a stack on B. And Loud going to navigate around that, not going to entertain the concept of it. And head back around towards A. Okay, so dealing with the turret though. Where do the rest of EDG head? Right, back round towards connector. Okay, so Loud, similar scenes, just doing their due diligence. This is all somewhat safe so far. Kang the only one who's really going to pose a threat, but the paranoia lands perfectly, spams in, spots out Aspas, who slides right on by him. A-Site is going to have some bodies on it though, Mike. This isn't completely safe anymore.
Nobody info on 2Es here. Perfect flash comes through,
Rifle.
finds a big upgrade.
Hold on, this is getting way more dangerous now. Sadak still in his frenzy, and look at the HP. Sadak down low. If nobody can land these, which he can! Oh dear! Loud might have made the biggest mistake yet! And then one more kill! Smoggy! Flies in! And EDG! Breaking Loud's heart. That was meant to be the cleanest round yet for them.
You talk about an upgrade paying dividends here. Nobody goes huge. Again, left on flank duty here with a rifle. Disconnected a little bit. There's nobody in position to police that weapon. No buddy system in place. And EDG make Loud pay for that mistake.
All of those benefits of round 1 have been lost. All of that opportunity gone, and you will be furious with that. That was a Sheriff and a Ghost. That was it. There was nothing more to the EDG buy. And a rifle found, and a round taken. Loud. Devastating timing for this. On the way back in, though, Sheriffs themselves a frenzy to add in. And the ult for Aspas. Has the shield as well, so looking like he wants to invest this. They'll slow down on the way in, though. Not going to have as much ease of access, but you can see him trying to be brought in by County. EDG, hyper proactive through middle, and that is a player hunted down. Smoggy wanted Sadak dead.
Move alert nice and early. Spike will be planted, but Aspas needs to try and find something here. Kang at the perfect time swings back onto 2Es.
Does Aspas have the chance though? Not really. And look at Kang. Head first. Wants it, doesn't get it. Punished. Kang gonna go down. This gives him a little bit of a window of chance. Not much though. Solo, Aspas 8 HP. This have to be one of the biggest rounds we'd ever see from him. That's the start he wants. Diffuse started though, and it's not ideal for him in this situation. Another Aspas! A valiant attempt. Not gonna be enough though, and that's double digits for EDG, Mike. They've done so well so quickly.
That flip round
Yeah.
totally alters the course of the start of this half. Loud will be back on a purchase now, but yeah, just pennies left after this. Aspas at 1,200, sure, but it's going to make any sort of investment very, very difficult beyond this.
Operator out. Correct site to be on.
Players stacked up.
Yep. Well, Kang, let's see what you got here, buddy. You're starting to look a little more heated in the cam as well, starting to get a little bit more into the game, standing up tall. Aspas, great work, but EDG responding kind. How on getting away with daylight robbery until then. Aspas really the only one to answer back. Flies in and flies out. Kang holding that so well. And it's just less. In the blink of an eye, we're still above a minute. This is systematic destruction, EDG. Taking no prisoners here.
No. Again, putting a stranglehold on the finances once again, same as the first half. Loud. Very few rounds to play with now. Look at Cow and Zine as well. It's gets the TP up early. Loud will call a timeout here because, like I said, there's very, very few rounds left for them to have a say in this half. Look at them here toying with the idea of throwing a rifle or two in here. Aspas, ultimate once again, Cow and Zine with the Seekers.
I have to kind of bring this back to reality, that this just feels desperate from Loud. They haven't had answers. They haven't had their players there.
We saw this turning point in the series versus, well, actually even in the first map versus EG, where Loud just suddenly was just like, okay, guys, try and find a kill. There was no utility invested. It was just 2 or 3 players Loud just barreling towards the site, trying to take an engagement, and things just, I don't even want to say slip through their fingers. They never even got a grasp in the second half.
Never got a hand to it. But this would be like seeing Fnatic, after the season they had in EMEA, faltering twice in a row.
Yeah, I mean, historically, the only time we've ever seen Loud lose an opening game was to Optic at Copenhagen, and they were eliminated immediately after that. Again, we're talking history, but this is such an anomaly for Loud, but it's also now a real possibility with how this first map is going, unless we see a total overhaul on Fracture.
He's here again. You can't get away from this guy. Omnipresent, standing his ground, has to respect it eventually and fall away, but he stays out just long enough. He's not going to go in. He's not fully dipping away from this, and they've got the right read here as well. EDG have 3 players on that C site. Correct call. Maybe noting Kang is enough that they maybe adjust, that they fall away from this. He's going to chase him around this map if he has to. Loud can't play hide and seek the whole time. Going to take away a little bit of the utility invested towards 8. Make Chichu a little bit more vulnerable, but you can already see the adjustment. Proactive over towards Mount, they've cleared, nothing seen, and the burst towards the site. How much can Chichu hold though? This is a very, very tough position. He's opted correctly, falls away to a little bit of a deeper position, force them to explore further, and punishes 2! Looking for a 3rd, he can't do any more, but he's done so much. And the beast from the east is here. This man is deadly through and through. Les gonna be caught off as well, EDG. Just pushing Loud down on the knees. This is flawless. I mean, EDG are outclassing Loud in every aspect.
They haven't missed a beat. And Kang rotating across once again, keeping Loud guessing in the early round. Like I said, it doesn't matter what side, there are no early round indicators you get from EDG.
Nope.
There's no way to feel out the setup, the formation, anything. You barely even get a chance.
Well, Aspas as a result, they've got to buy. It's now or it's never, right? This was meant to be the curveball map pick. This was the map that maybe they felt they had some tape on, recent tape. They had a really nice concept coming in. They've got 5 rounds. You've got to do something now, Loud. Otherwise, EDG are tearing away map 1. with a huge advantage leading into map 2. And Kangkang's patrolling, prowling around. Singular hold towards A as well. He's going to have the fight against Sadak. Last time, so quick, he barely saw it. This time, Sadak's ready. Huge pick, taking away the headhunter himself. Chichu on the switch up though this time here.
Campbell spot. A couple of bodies from Loud, but as I say, it could be a concern that the Trailblazer is used so early on. Big damage done. 2East doesn't fall though.
They're chasing. EDG getting aggressive, herding them around the map. Look at the backfill of this space. Nobody is chasing them down. Zero respect given. They want this. The paranoid didn't quite land. They are literally on their heels. Loud are running for the hills, running for the site. TP taken for how long? Safely towards CT. And now the flank gets watched. Trying to bait it on the jump spot. Nobody swings but takes the damage. Aspas has to defend this side of the map. There are 3 players against him. Lockdowns come in. Loud are panicking. They gotta hold on to this. They know the stakes. They're in this round.
We'll force them away here. The lockdown draws a line at the choke point. Aldon's still over in spawn, but looks as if EDG finally will relent. Will give this up. They're so desperate to catch the backside of that Loud stack because they know the spike's there.
Yep.
They read it perfectly. Dumping utility, the paranoia sent through. Nobody chomping at the bit. Smoggy will find one. Yeah. I mean, really, you're looking for damage control here from Loud. You don't want to see less fall either, but
nice.
Sharp to it.
Last player standing.
Great from Les, yeah. Wow. Okay. So they had to do something. Took them a lot, but Loud got it. That's 6. Need 6 more to close up this scoreline. Have a full buy here. 1 away from the pit. TP, yeah. And 2 from the Seekers. So a couple of options coming close, but on the other side, I am also seeing that showstopper, which worries me. It's still an operator as well for Kangkang, so it's so much still in the
And like I said, the fact that now Loud have to invest the Trailblazer to try and fish out Kangkang in the early round, it actually reinforces Chichu's utility a little bit here.
He's going for it!
Ahead of it.
This guy's nuclear right now. Just gonna back away, try and readdress this, but EDG, get in their faces! This is a round that's sending a message. No fear, no respect. And Loud are struggling down to 2. Chichu just wants it. They want him dead, they want him buried. They want map 2, and they might just be getting it right now! Finishing with a flourish. It's 13-6. EDG outclassing Loud by a mile.
Absolutely explosive once again. Like I said, Loud just unable to grasp anything here on Lotus, it felt like. Even some of the rounds where Loud looked to go aggressive. I said EDG played both sides of the coin perfectly. Absolute masterclass from them. Talking about last time versus Liquid, coming down to a coin flip. This wasn't even close, Lauren.
No, totally different game in that regard. And you know what? That scares me. Those last couple of rounds where you started to see that, you know, the classic, like that Chinese style, right? Where it's just hyper aggression, raw fights. It's terrifying. So they can switch into that gear. They have that.
Yeah, versus a team like Loud that historically have shown us that they can play scrappy. They can brawl. They have the firepower here in this roster to be able to go toe-to-toe with some of the more aggressive teams across the world. But here, a 13-6 on Lotus, and the way that EDG approached this, the lack of respect, Loud unable to stabilize.
They've got to come online here. Loud have looked absent. There's no 2 ways to say it. This has to be a rude awakening for them. Again, first match, yeah, sure, call it what it is, EG on a hot run, but EDG have compounded the problems. They've highlighted all those issues once again. And now we look to the next map. We look towards Fracture as redemption, and they need it desperately. Loud are 1 map away from being eliminated here in Tokyo.
Have you ever asked yourself after a bad game, what am I missing? Or sought help from impatient friends? Or browsed desperately for answers that only bring up more questions? Your self-doubting days are over with Discovery, the first game-focused AI. Discovery is trained on the world's leading esports athletes to be your everyday personal coach. That's right, Discovery can help you improve your gameplay by giving you tips and strategies to take your game to the next level. Get started at aimlabs.com/discovery.
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
EDG, they just keep bringing us incredible gameplay. I'm joined by their coach After and Iris with me as well. You guys have beaten a lot of good teams already, taken masters of them, beating them in series. What was different about Loud? What did you think about this team?
因为来到这次大师赛的话 ，EDG 已经从很多支世界级的强队身上拿到了比赛的胜利。那这一次对战到 Loud， 你觉得他们的不同是什么呢？
我觉得他们的枪法还是挺强硬的。虽然我们在这一块也不会输给他们，但是我们还是要保持自己接下来的信心，因为我们也有信心今天能更顺利的拿下胜利。
I think they're definitely very mechanically strong and their aiming is really stand out, but I don't think ours is inferior to them, and we're very confident to take this victory against them.
Thank you very much, Iris. Thank you. After 加油加油, and we're going to throw this back to the desk.
Thank you so much for that, Sue. And confidence is, I mean, a bound peak as high as it possibly could for EDG. Walk away with not just any victory. Let me look at my notes. 13-6, Mimi.
That's pretty good.
When is the last time that you've seen Loud on the struggle bus for this long?
I don't know. It feels impossible. I think the last time that it actually looked like they could go 2-0 out of a tournament was Copenhagen, and this is a completely different team from them. Loud looked lost, but on the other hand, EDG looked incredible in this match.
The feeling that we're getting from EDG is that someone or nobody can pop off on this team. Is not only about the 1 or 2 players that can step up. The rounds have been so crazy. The retakes on a different level. I feel like especially Aspas had an idea what he wanted to do on the attack, but things were just not going their way. Mimi, you were talking about chaos. I think that EDG was working beautifully on this chaos. They were creating it. They just wanted it to happen time and time again, and we're looking at nobody here having the round of a lifetime, just going for every single pick, with Smokey closing this round. And this was right after Loud won that pistol. One of the things that we were concerned about after that loss against EG is EG not only getting the pistols, but also getting the bonuses, and something that Loud had to bring back time and time again. The economy suffers so much that you cannot have a reliable round.
And while that was a great round from EDG and from something to pick up that 4K, it also looked so unlike Loud. No one is swinging together. No one is ready for the possibility of that reflank and in a position to punish. No one's ready to shut down that gun from being recovered. It's all these little mistakes that are compounding into this game, falling apart for them. And honestly, picking into this composition, I didn't really see the reason why they wanted to make this change. It didn't look practiced to me, honestly. On their defensive side, I didn't think they were able to find the right read with this Neon. We're constantly getting over-aggressive on those A lobby hits. And in the second half, it also looked very one-dimensional. It was just fast sight hit after fast sight hit, and EDG was so proactive at re-clearing space and winning in those retakes.
We've been talking a lot about the depth that some teams can have in the compositions, and actually the times running it and so on, but going back to fundamentals, EDG won 55% of their 4v5s. That is insane. We're talking about training. We're trading. We're talking about going back to these fundamentals and actually thinking that you can shut them down, even in that many occasions where Kankan or Smokey are just going deep, are just going for that first kill. We know that, Kankan just loves going with the blades, getting that first kill, working with that, pushing with the operator in hand. It doesn't matter for them because they always can recover if they lose those players.
And I watched some of EDG's games, and I think it's defined by the individual plays when popping off in the late round. This wasn't that, really. I think this was defined by EDG's fundamentals, like you're saying, not by any one individual popping off.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Now, obviously, because it's a part of the show that we are going to address an individual, we're going to go to the Aim Lab shoot-around, and it's Kong. But to Mimi's point, it is just going to give us an opportunity to further talk more about this EDG lineup and how they truly are the sum of all of their parts. It has been really blossoming a lot here in Tokyo. Obviously, Kong played a big part of that, and I also, this is literally how I play at home as well, with the monitor just slanted in my
You're
face.
an iPad baby. I was literally going to say that's how I eat.
I'm kidding, I do not
Because my attention span after all these years and after some apps that we have now is completely gone to zero, and I cannot eat if I don't have an iPad in front of me or I'm watching something. I feel like he's on the same trail, that's
Dude, you guys make fun of me for being young. I can just eat dinner and just sit and enjoy my food.
That is
a lie. Wow, Mimi. Okay, I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for the clapback, the wisdom from the youthfulness.
Anyways, it's ridiculous the setup that Kong plays with. I love seeing pros very unique setups, but he was very good this map, as we'd expect. I'm not huge on this double duelist comp still, despite the fact that it works, but the thing is that while I don't think it's the perfect optimal comp to play on this map, EDG play really well just together. I think one of their biggest strengths on their defensive side is Lotus, is how proactive they can be in re-clearing space in that mid round, using a Sky God with one of the 2 duelists to push, while the other one is on the other side, stalling for space. It's really well set up by them.
In many occasions, we saw Loud struggling with the retakes. For EDG, this strat is very easy. Let's try, and if we're eating towards the map, let's just go on. Let's just escalate onto that very fast. Everybody going together. Let's just ambush them and float them, and it's impossible for Loud to have a good reaction, especially because, again, they're on the line time and time again.
Yeah, I really also just want to reiterate, you're talking about this, and we're talking about Loud.
I just think it's
great. We're talking about Loud, and actually we did get an opportunity to talk to Chichu because honestly, win or lose, this team's having fun here in Tokyo. And they were very excited about their matchup against Liquid, and we got some words ahead of this matchup against Loud. Let's actually go ahead and take a look.
今天因为赛前的时候，人家要跟 Team Liquid 打的时候就已经是很兴奋了，因为 Team Liquid 我们也知道是欧洲的冠军嘛，然后我们也是作为一个挑战者的心态来的，然后今天其实也是没有压力的，然后打完过后能打这个分数其实已经超乎我们期望值了，说实话，然后也能跟到纳斯交手，我觉得今天就应该就是很高兴嘛，也看到了我们的一些潜力，然后我们还想再。
Holding close, but not messing around. All the way straight back into the side as well. Cypher holds for him. Give him the ace. Why not? For the halfway round, and there you go.
试试看能不能往上面冲一下。我说实话，我今天是没有想到Loud会输的，所以说我觉得大家这2天准备时间会准备的很充足，然后看有没有机会把Loud给掀翻。我其实打 EU 的队伍的话，对我们的一些中间的一些游戏思路可能会有帮助。然后美洲这边他们风格因为跟欧洲这边不太一样，所以说我觉得对我们去拉扯他们应该会有一些帮助。然后总体的话还要看我们这2天的调整，因为我们也发现我们的问题所在嘛。然后争取拿下之后的每一场，然后看看我们的极限在哪。
A team that is looking to explore where their limits are at a global freaking event. This team is outstanding.
Yeah, it's so cool. I think they already processed the fact that they've beaten their expectations, and from then on, it's just been about how close can we get, what teams can we actually beat, and the confidence just continues to brew. But what I took away most from that little interview piece was the way he was talking about learning from other teams. I think that's been the biggest thing about EDG. This is the 3rd international event that they've been to now, where they've had an opportunity to get out of China, to scrim teams from all around the world, and take their ideas into their own gameplay. And I think we're seeing that here with them really slowing things down, doing a really good job to re-clear in the mid-round. The strategic depth for EDG at this event is so much higher than in the past.
Yeah, well, let's, of course, update you guys. If you're just joining us here, your eyes do not deceive you. It is going to be Lotus for EDG. That was Loud's pick. They thought that they had a plan, but unfortunately, EDG had a better plan, and they were able to execute that one to absolute perfection. But now, Kukuka, we find ourselves in a very interesting situation here because we're going back to Fracture, and this is where that tone was set in that EG game.
Yeah.
And it feels like while you may assume that Loud have the reads on Lotus because they saw what EDG did there, now the question is, I wonder if EDG did their homework and are prepared for this Fracture from Loud based on what they saw.
Yeah, probably, but I think that Loud is going to come off of after that loss with actually a lot of reads and a lot of insight about why it is that happened against EG. So I assume that they were going to see another phase, also because they decided that Fracture is a map that they're floating. Maybe EDG was smart enough to be like, okay, I know exactly why you lost. I'm going to try and replicate it because I feel like we can do it. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe, right? Well, good news is we are going to get some words with the coach. We have Fraud standing by with Yinsu. What she got for us?
I'm now joined by Coach Fraud from Loud. I know you guys are 1 map down right now, but I wanted to quickly get your thoughts on the map vetoes. Obviously, they took away your Ascend, but Haven was on the table. Pearl, somewhere that you don't really want to go to right now. How much of a risk is it, do you think, having to play Lotus followed by Fracture here?
I mean, for us, it was a strategic move to pick Lotus. We felt like we had a really good read on what they may do. Obviously, we didn't come through in the game. But at the end of the day, we feel confident on the maps. Fracture, we know, is a map that we've been maybe struggling on a couple, or at least against EG, but we feel really confident on that map. We feel really confident with our strategies, our tactics, and all that. So, you know, it's just, we got to play better, play more confident, and just click some heads.
I mean, you guys have done this before, so thank you so much for joining me and see, guys, if Loud can indeed bring it back.
As we get ready for map 2, Kukuka, something that really stuck out for me there was it was a strategic decision to go to Lotus, but now Loud says we're in our comfort territory here. You mentioned before they've been floating this map. It's now time to put up or shut up.
Yeah, totally. I wonder how the conversation has been as we head into the Prime Game and Agent Select, because we need to think of how the mental is for Loud now. Twice in this competition, they have lost that first map, and now they have to dive into another map that EDG has shown a lot of resilience in.
Here's the thing, well, Loud lost to EG. I think a lot of the troubles they were having were against EG's specific style. They didn't really seem to know how to play against a lot of those interesting ult combinations. EDG play a much more standard composition here.
Fair,
The solo
fair.
jet, double initiator, double flash built a lot on Kung and setting him up for success, and on re-clearing space in the mid-round with both of those initiators. They've been good on this map in the past, but the biggest question for me around Loud isn't about the composition, it's about the mental. This is a new position. They're in the lower bracket, they're down a map, they need to rally if they want to show why they were favorites.
Well, this is it. Loud can go out with a whimper. Meanwhile, EDG can keep riding this high. Let's see how this all works out as we send it over to Pensy and Hypoc.
Thank you so much. Now, kind of, I guess Frod's conversation then got me a little worried, if anything. I don't feel any more confident coming to this map.
I'm concerned if map 1's kind of characterized as a poor execution of the strat book. That doesn't fill me with confidence, especially for Fracture, because it was a similar situation versus EG where they were unable to actually get themselves into a position where execute some of the set pieces that they had. So that's massively worrying.
I'm genuinely nervous for Loud. I am genuinely nervous for Loud. EDG, by all rights, should be sky high on confidence. Everything their way. They even got a map in hand. If they need it, hey, they've got bind if they need to get there. Fans still believe. We've got to see it in the server though. Again, yes, Aspas doing a little bit of work in that last one. Doing the best he could for it. Wakey, wakey. But it's still not enough to get them across the line.
No, it's not. And the worrying thing being EDG, like I said, improving from that performance versus Liquid, coming out here and just, I hate using the phrase playing their own game, because we hear that such a... Exactly. But that's what they did. They come back, they improve. We saw the same thing versus T1. They lose, obviously, Fractures to them. They come back in the rematch, and it's a 13-4 response. Like I said, it is very concerning to be in this situation with the opening game we saw versus EG and the performance we saw. The nature in which they lost that map. And Aspas is back on the Neon, which it didn't look great.
It didn't. And I think we can be quite transparent and honest about this when it comes to Loud, that our expectations were higher. Let's say we bookmarked our expectations even in Brazil.
Arguably the highest.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. You'd put them up there with Fnatic, and even more than Fnatic, because they did win that final matchup, right? Yes, for me, EDG were always going to be a bit of an X-Factor team. Maybe it came together, maybe it didn't. Hard to tell with them until you see it live on the server, right? But you put stock in result, you put stock in historied events, capability on, on LAN, all of these kind of things. EDG have appeared several times at international events, but never have we seen them go this far or look this good. It was so much. And again, if you guys at home do want to get involved, do use the hashtag VALORANT Masters. We'd like to hear from you. You can just get shown on stream. Isn't that fun? But again, when we discuss this, you have to put the question mark with Loud and just purely enjoy the fact that EDG are actually able to do this, right? This is incredible from them so far. It feels like all of those events previous are now coming together, right? We're starting to see all that potential actualize.
And demonstrating great depth. I know Mimi was touching this again. We were talking about it in map 1. Yep. In my eyes, EDG, the expectations are fairly linear, right? It's very surface level, but the fact that they've been able to come here and demonstrate to some world-class teams that they have the troubleshooting on the fly, the ability to really, handle curveballs and satisfy that slow game so well. They have an opportunity here to send another message to the participants here in Tokyo.
The fact that EDG have faced EMEA's best team coming into this, arguably, if you want to look at who finished in that first position from those regular seasons, and had a fantastically close game. Here now facing down Americas as well. And already throwing a map up. Kang. Oh, he wants him. Yeah, he's got him too. Aspas deleted, and he's going to note there are other players trying to zip across the line. Spots no one else. The north side is theirs, And Tui's now dangerous, alone. Looking a little nervous in this one. Got to hold the ground. He's got it. Beautiful follow-up as well. Tui's activating as is required, as nobody's still holding on to this site, though. Stunning. Double from him as well. Both teams now starting to elevate a little. Rush comes in for nobody, allows him to reposition. And no pressure coming from Drop. This guy's holding it safe as houses. Supports there. EDG start things off with a bang.
Looking to dictate once again to Loud how this map will go. Confident swing out here on the pistol round. And like I said, Kankang, unlucky not to get more, to be honest with you. The fault line following through as well from Smoggy. Now they just slip away on the ropes. Some Sheriffs invested here for Loud. Let's see, Aspas swapping out to a Frenzy here.
Okay.
See if Kankang is going to try and farm up with the Marshal here, but nobody on the other side for Loud just yet.
Okay.
Hear this rotation though. It's big information for Aspas, but Spike in the hands of Sadak, not committed just yet, and won't be lost either.
Yeah. So the 3 Sheriffs need to find some real value here if they want to try and disrupt this, even with here in that rotation. Can he still come back? He's just over towards... Drops side. He got the follow-up tag as well. Yeah, of course he did. Do you almost forget who this man is? Do you not remember Haven? He spotted another. He knows there's more here. Once we drop down, though, Kawanzi. Oh my word! This. I want to aim like him. It's weird. He's got that weird little shaky aim, but it's really good. Okay.
Want some less.
Give me some more.
Feels like a consolation. 20 HP, still 4 to find. It looks like they want to give Kankang the opportunity to find this one.
Yeah, you hear that, Marshall, you back away, don't you? You don't stick around too long. He's being herded. Nowhere to really run in this. Where do you want to go, Les? To your grave. EDG, second round now. Kankang, I want his aim. It's so bizarre because no one else aims like him. No one else plays like this dude.
So even in the first 2 rounds here, just look how active EDG are looking to remain here. One thing I had my eye on was Loud's inability to really grasp any sort of indicators and make a decision based on early round information. You could argue as well, potentially a concern here with Sadak being on the KO. Unless you get a tag with that knife, it's difficult to really garner much early on. Pace change here from Loud potentially.
Map's going to start getting smaller though. Kankang is on the way to the northern side. Aspas taking a lot of damage there. And they're going to sit deep on this, maybe allow time for these rotations, north and south side. Predominantly south side though. Going to have the 3-play stack coming around from EDG.
Les is going to have his hands full here.
The spike's actually crossed back down towards B main. Yeah, Les needs to encourage this movement from Sadak to get them going in this. Kankang closing in, look on the left. He does. Oh, that one goes astray. Not going to find it this time. Aspas lucky to be standing on that HP.
Aspas is reflanking. He's taking the rope across.
Not a bad shout by any means. That's 3 potential victims waiting. Perfect timing. The shot, not so much so, but it's enough to get across the line. Again, this is the bonus round, unless very safe on the site here.
Credited a couple of rounds in the previous map towards the end of the first half as confidence builders for Loud. Can't let this scoreline evade them early on in this half. This is crazy as well. That a 15 HP Aspas still survives in that situation. Seekers online already for nobody. Loud.
Operator out.
One away from the pit, Sadak 2 off the null command, but you're absolutely right. Operator available here. Proactive swing towards tree. Loud looking to continue with his pace change though.
I like it. Oh, Aspas, sharp as hell. Beautiful start. Taking over Sam completely. A-Side's there's on a platter now. Yes, we did see the connection from Kankang in the back lines towards Les. He's going quite far away from this though. How long trying to at least hold towards CT, but for now, Loud planting that Brazilian flag over towards the A-Side.
Kawanzi semi-committed here towards the rope pole. Chichu actually rotate across to the north side here. Cardon can find one. Spotted out here. Smoke will go up behind it, but Kankang finds it. Aspas sharp
trade
for the trade.
Really valuable trade. Lovely positioning from Loud. This post plant looks incredibly secure. Making sure all of them were swinging off the back of that contact in case anyone got a little too dangerous. You do not want to give freedom to any of these EDG players.
Okay. We'll find one. Didn't do any further damage here. We'll decide to give it up. And it's actually a positive to see Loud commit towards I don't want to say an aggressive post bomb, but committed positions, right? They weren't looking to sit off site and force EDG to come through and make a couple of deep clearances. So in terms of the mental, in terms of the approach here, at least initially we haven't had any pop-off rounds yet from EDG. Loud looking a lot more composed, happy to rely on the fundamentals. Back to basics almost.
And again, if you want to talk kind of stylistic, right? If we talk region-wise, obviously China's always been kind of considered that very hyper-aggressive region. Brazil's not far behind that either. It's very much always been that very explosive style, high tempo. Nice seeing that gear shift from Loud coming in here. Sadak gonna make no subtleties of this. 3 players are here, one a little more dedicated than the others. That's gonna be nobody. And actually finds 2! How do you get 2 in that? That shouldn't have happened, and neither should have that. Howdong finding connection with that Sheriff has put problems to Loud. Bullish in approach and left in tatters. You got less than 2-ies. They've lost out on Sadak, and Kankang's there. Oh, come on! EDG shattering Loud.
Haven't had a pop-off round yet from EDG.
What was that, Michael?
So
say it one more time. Run it back for me one more time. Huh?
That composure we were talking about.
Confidence builders.
Getting online early here.
Oh,
this is outrageous.
That second. Ay.
Right.
Wow. 1 enemy remaining.
And this felt fairly all in.
Yeah, it did.
From Loud from the get-go. No command committed off the rip.
Okay.
That's a tough blow.
But it's Loud, right? Finalists. So the best there is. They can pick themselves up, get back into the game. Smoggy confirmed. No one's quite pushed through. Oh, he got 2 out of that still. Making it to 2v3. This is not impossible. It's only improbable. Spas. He's down on 22 HP. He's playing such a devious game, playing so dangerously.
Sadak got tagged up as well. He's down to 30,
you're right.
33. He ate some spam through the box there.
Okay, slowly but surely, Chichu's clearing through.
Makisakay ka naman.
He might get a fight on Sadak here. He's been unnoted this entire time. Launching smoke. Smoke's going in. Howdong gonna spawn him. Careful now. He doesn't want to go down prior to this. Needs to wait for Chichu. He actually got the kill on Sadak, but the trade came in. Can Chichu find any of these players here?
Awkward plant here if Kaunzin falls.
The jump spot's going to be heard. The smoke's still in place. Contact comes in. He's going to look for Aspas. Not going to find him. Stunned up though. Takes a shot. He's got to try and close that gap. He can't do it. Aspas played that really, really well. Patient in the end. Didn't want to just get too involved too early on, but that got way too deadly.
Coming back though, after that round loss, to see Loud play very aggressively here and be decisive, those were the things
Playing their own
lacking
game.
from map 1.
Oh man, but again though, so many of these moments are on like a...
Such a fine margin.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, Smoggy's response with 2 there. Aspas is down to, what, 20-odd HP, so really could have gone either way. They might even try and fake a little bit here. Yeah, off the knife, and Aspas showing some presence.
Oh, I like that. Pull Kung back, so that's going to keep him preoccupied for a while. Deeper hold from EDG towards the B side, though. Rolling Thunder going to come in. It doesn't really give too much away, at least.
A double pump.
Okay, yeah, but look who's waiting.
Yeah, Kankang's.
Oh, dear.
EDG have almost got a good read on it here. The flash will confirm no presence outside dish, and Loud now, a pause for thought.
I'm terrified if they go to this A.
That's a massive investment, it feels like, to try and fake both sides. Maybe waiting here for Sadak's knife to come back online. Knife invested, fault line available as well now, but
and it's got
they have
nobody with him with the
flash.
flash.
They have no tangibles.
One flash for Sadak. Door going to confirm it. And they found the first. Spike now down. And Smoggy gets to dip away. Beautiful. Loud not finding success anywhere. Where do they go now? Do you back away? Yeah, they've got nowhere to go, Mike.
I mean, Tui's has lurked all the way back through underpass into the backside of Arcade, but the alarm bot will spot him out. An early indicator here, struggling to deal with it.
Paranoia did land. Gonna reveal Chichu's position as the flood comes in through from B main. He's got to try and take one with him. Can't do it. Great trade from How Long. A little dangerous, but Loud making it work here. 13 seconds though. Nobody making his way through. Plant gonna come in. With that operator, that is going to be hard, but that makes it much easier. Takes away Tui's, and now they've got to find less. Pit's there though. Who does he find first? Already there. That's one found. Kang down.
He's playing outside.
Trade around. Nobody. He's hunting him down. He's clearing through this. This is nice from Les. Smart play. The drop and the reveal, beautifully played by Les. Red Bull clutch there, deservedly so.
And that's a big round for Loud to post on the board. The one that now starting to test that early financial advantage that EDG had created, even with a very close exchange in rounds. Stingers and a couple of Sheriffs here to work with. Orbital Strike and the long under for Smoggy. So some tools available if EDG can find some kills, get some upgrades. First time really Sanak's got a decent ping on the knife here. Aspas can find an opener.
Much better.
Alzine to double down.
There we go. Now just keeping control here. Les holding the other side of the map. Can hear a couple of steps as they rotate away. So that's going to be a call out for them. Danger Man Kang is here, but they should be able to cross safely to the site. Still have two smokes with Tui's as well. Wait and see if there's a re-challenge here, and you can see him getting closer. Kang is looking for a little bit of a battle, loses out. Aspas going to find him. And the last two looking quite irrelevant to this round. Loud getting a little bit of a grip on the pacing here. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. They lose one. Not the end of the world. One comes in. Much better stability now from Loud, not getting too caught up in that anti-eco.
That one actually kind of solidifies their position in terms of the finances. So a purchase or so behind this. EDG actually, they call a timeout here to consider the bigger picture.
Yep.
Said stark contrast now Loud, again, with the ability of the economy being in their favor. Options. They have a couple of rounds now where at least slowing things down has looked good for them. Previously, EDG hyper aggressive. Again, they had the opportunity to do so.
But also navigating away from Kangkang as well. They haven't really been pinned down by it. A couple of these rounds now, you saw that double pump. Got a little nervous when they got back towards that side of the map, but even with that in mind, they've been able to kind of avoid that early damage that he's been able to achieve in the past. Not falling for this one. And I felt on the other maps, roll your mind back even to that last map, he was omnipresent, right? He was everywhere, very hard to get away from. Good read of the positioning here, not so much not having as much impact. Still, he's on 8-6, he's still leading the board. I mean, this guy is incredibly good. But Loud given a couple of opportunities now to, feel a little bit of that freedom away from him. And we're starting to see some of the ults come through as well. Only one away from Aspas as well. He's going to have his very close by. And Salak's got his back online. So a couple of key tools to work with for themselves. Bigger tools on the other side for EDG, though.
Operator back in hand, and like you said, ultimates here for EDG. See what the adjustment is here. Looks like Chichu's going to commit his setup towards A. And yeah, Kangkang. First time we're going to see him in this committed anchor position. No command run through once again, but the combo might even land here.
The one caught by it as well, and they scatter in the end. They just get away to safety, but it's now being forced into the hands of this man, and he actually doesn't land the shot. First time one goes astray. The paranoia going to force him away from that secondary peak. Trying to quell this absolute animal on that B side, but he's ahead of the smoke. He's going exploring, of course he is. Audacious in approach and confidence, and he's got such information now. They can dip back towards that A site here.
Armbot removed here. Tui's will commit to it. Lockdown in response here from Chichu.
That'll be about 30 seconds at this point.
It's going to run the clock down. And look how much space EDG have taken outside tree. Already looking to pressure the back line.
Yeah, no options to back away really for Loud here. They have to continue on this path. Smoke's still in place for the cross though, so they shouldn't have too many worries with that. There's the ult gonna come back in, gonna deny that first attempt of a plant. And Chichu's found less. They're starting to close that gap in now. And actually it's counting with a spike. Oh dear. He's got so many players on the other side of this. He has to get to the site, try and get something on their side. Quarantine is in trouble here. Kang gets reeled. Spots the players on the other side. Jump spot landed. Beautiful trade out. Spike gonna go down, and EDG getting on the sights and getting the round. Loud crumbling under the smothering from EDG. They get so close so quickly.
A freebie here with the orbital strike combo. I think Zadak's even close to falling in the mix as well. And what's beautiful is, this is on one extremity, the other side, Kang happy to be there to greet Loud's retreat. Said it after this, EDG, once they know that the operators show, Loud show respect. They drift back towards A, and immediately nobody and Kang are there. They're looking to pressure the backline if that A site execute comes through.
Four to 5 now. Loud still in the lead. And Loud with the adjustment now. Nobody gonna see all of this coming his way. Kang is there as well, so they do have the support system. The readjust is gorgeous. Nobody all too prepared. The double swing! Oh, he almost had all three! Smoggy in support. It's a 3v2. Less than 2s, where are you? Desperate to make that cross. Trying to get something favorable, and that's good for them. Howdong going down is great. They're still looking for another pick here, though. A tap on the spike, and they do not commit just yet.
Chichu's quietly made his way into the backside of Arcade here. Unnoted as of yet. Loud haven't got the spike down yet, and the smokes have dropped.
Okay, Chichu. Super close by, maybe an angle they don't expect. Spots out one, punishes less, and that's a spike loose. This has to be heroics from Tui's. One smoke and a TP, and that's all he's really got to play with. 45 seconds, avoids the utility and gets a fair fight. Did he spot?
He spotted Smoggy.
He's got to know one's close by, but what can he do with it? Can hear a couple of steps. Oh, he finds a great shot on Smoggy, expecting the other swing from the other side of the smoke, but nothing there just yet. Takes a second.
30 seconds left.
Double checking towards tower. No one's present. 25 seconds, but where the hell is Chichu in this? Oh, hello, peekaboo, 10 seconds now, another smoke in hand, but he's so low on HP. Chichu played it so well, and we're tied up all even.
So he's had time to play with there, tried to run the clock down. Another one, it's around ZG. A slight lack of consideration. Aspas is running on dry. Yeah. He's got the ultimate pop, but there's no flash over the top. There's no fault line, and it's a player tucked in behind Dice. I mean, fault line was burnt up early. It didn't catch nobody initially on the stun, but...
Lives are out. Players are here. Kang is stunned. He gets a second lease of life flow. Stunned again. No, dips away. Doesn't want to fall for this one. Nobody turns the first flash. The paranoia set. They are investing everything. It's still at 1 minute 20. Les wants to make something of this. Maybe punish those players falling away from Dish. And there's very few places to run and hide for EDG. Maybe they don't need to. Maybe they need to stand the ground and fight, and they fall. Loud, finally making it back to the side. Howdong turns on a dime, takes down Tui's, but so many of them fall. It's a 3v1. Chichu again. So deep in the backlines, they're all on the site as it is, but this would need a miracle level of impact. You still have Aspas sitting relatively healthy, 75. You've still got the knife for Zadak too. 2 flashes, so much kit to run through. Now finally coming together on this one. Any chances here for Chichu? Ah, he's dead and gone. Loud. Much better now.
It takes so much. Luckily, the pinch comes through from A-Main at the right time, because, again, some of the investment of utility on Lotus early on didn't amount to real value. Nothing for Loud to really springboard off. Again, trades much, much better. You look at that kill feed, and even visibly, a much, much better look than Lotus, and a much better scoreline here.
You actually have a competitive game heating up now. This is what we wanted to see as well. Life in Loud, right? Like, you don't want them to go whimpering out of this event. Now we're starting to see them testing EDG, and EDG keeping up. Flash deep. And he gives away the opportunity there. And Aspas going to work off that instantaneously, taking all that space by Dish. There is a player on the way, though. Kang, oh dear. Lucky to be standing. Good movement. And actually brought down. Beautiful work from Tuis to double down and double check that. Make sure they clear him out of there.
Tuis at least will spot one player. Not cancelled yet. Chichu going to be put in a position relied upon here by EDG, anchoring this A site. Pops the Nano Swarm early, actually. They don't spot him. They actually didn't clear this.
No way, no way, no way. And Smoggy's found counting. That's a spike down. Chichu completely unnoted. Oh, Aspas still gets him, though. Such a fortunate scenario as Aspas is saving this round from a couple of things that could have gone so badly wrong. How long? Going back through by drop. Over towards Dish. That's a lot of players to get through, though. Yeah, Les and Aspas are wounded, but still standing. The timing here for Les could be very good. Actually misses a little bit of a window of that. Ah, there we go. Finally checks on it. Timing's there. Adong down to 56. Give it a crack. Good damage! Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, Aspas, thank you. And let's kind of, put a little bit of a bookend on that one as well. Aspas has woken up here, Mike. Much more impact. Way more efficient in this one.
Well, I was talking about, obviously, the Neon not looking good last time for Aspas. It wasn't him individually. Numerically, he was delivering. It was bigger picture. I think we see one example here where the execution wasn't fully online, but at least here, the scoreline much better.
Yeah, 5-7. We finally have a game on our hands.
Indeed we do, Pansy, and this is what you want to see from Loud, but again, it just illustrates just how strong this EDG team has been, that Loud have been just pulling away at some of these rounds. And Kakuka, this actually takes us to our Verizon high-speed moment as we cover Les in round 7, actually. We got to talk about Les here because Les has had a decent amount of impact in this game, obviously goes without saying, but it really feels like this round here was the catalyst to give them that motivation to keep pushing.
Yeah, exactly. Probably a turning point for them. I think over this map, they are playing their game, something that they needed to be happen previously. It's happening now. Hey, they still have time. They still can bring this back. I love how they're using Aspas. I love how he's just been the tip of the spear, something that he obviously needed to be, but I feel like he's finding the right pace to doing so, and it's kind of one of the things that I wanted to see on the stage.
And the thing is, I don't think Loud have been winning these rounds by really cool strategy, by perfectly outcalling EDG. A lot of it has just been these hard executes or these late round wins, and honestly, that might be what Loud needed. It's rounds like that that are reinvigorating them, that are getting them back into this game, rebuilding that confidence, and they finally have a lead in the series.
We were talking about the mental, how things are going to be after losing that pistol. Maybe we can think that it is all over for them, but no, they managed to bring it back. Beautiful rounds on their side, that they have learned about the mistakes that they made, and I think that we deserve a third map here.
But the thing is, EDG have an opportunity. Well, Loud have rallied. Their attacking side on this map is normally solid, and if they can close this one out, if they can push it all the way and take map 2 versus Loud, eliminate from this tournament 2-0, they could continue to make history, continue this miracle run. It's not over for them in this map yet, but it's the same for Loud. They have to be feeling the pressure right now.
Yeah, that's right. And now it's time to see how the chips fall as we send it right back over to Pansy and Hypoc.
Thank you. If you are just tuning in, the score is correct. Loud finally waking up a little bit here, leading the scoreboard after having a horrific Series 1, an atrocious Map 1 in this series, but then finally they at least get a half, right? This is what we want to be seeing. A spark back with this side. As EDG, the first big challenge they're going to be facing in this game is this half here.
3 players initially positioned towards B here for Loud. EDG stacked up on the other side, other than nobody. He's probably going to try and show a little bit of presence, but nobody from Loud to actually be there to receive it.
Nice counter to the contact piece. Aspas going to miss the window of chance on this. Brought down to 13 HP. Yeah, maybe a little bit too committed to chase that down, but Kangan going to backfill this. Aspas is exceptionally low HP.
They cleared the entirety of the north side here, Loud, so Les actually comes across to reinforce this arcade hold.
And the smoke timing. They're going to get maybe a 1v3 on the site. Yeah, they got to back away from this now. Sites, EDGs, it's not a comfortable hold, but you want to try and maybe overwhelm somewhere, give yourself some safety, and that's what they're doing. focusing towards Sadak initially, and they get the trade. They've lost out on nobody, but they take down Sadak. So for them, I guess they'll take what they're given here. But still so close by, you can see the gap being closed. Aspas taking the tour of the map here, all the way around. And look at the HP on EDG. 1 on Chichu, Kang 14, how long? 37, and he's been removed. Down to the bare bones now, down to the basics, can't hold up against this. And 1 HP ain't enough. It ain't enough. Less brilliant round from him. Loud doing what they need. Basics can't.
They made the decision to reinforce this B-site hold here with a 4th member. Previously, Sadak had a lot of trouble holding onto that tower position versus EG. The onslaught of utilities sent his way. I'm curious actually with just the pistol round, whether or not EDG are going to look to pressure that position as well. Wait and see here as turret towards Street, probably leaning towards a crunch here in A main. It's quite big actually.
Okay, counting, gorgeous, gorgeous cleanup. Making light work with the utility. Softened and vulnerable on the other side, EDG. I mean, they only really, I think, had classics and maybe 1 upgraded pistol, but that'd be about all it is. Feels like a formality, as it should be. Counting, big progress here as well.
Yeah. 4 towards that Rolling Thunder. EDG unfortunately can't even get past the front door. The snakebite timing perfect inside the smoke. Seeing initially 4 members of Loud over towards B. EDG 4 on the north side, Chichu down on the south. Slight pace change here, potentially. EDG's first buy round. The fault line might even be set in motion here for Aspas.
A little bit of aim training before the round started. Yeah, look at this stack of players towards Arcade, and the timing's going to be atrocious. Aspas, he hasn't got a leg to stand on. EDG's so hyper aware of this. They sat back waiting. The flash is actually very nice though. Gives Sadak a fight. Gonna force Kang out of there as well. They're hunting them right back down. Loud, that's huge. Bringing the fight right back to EDG. And how long the Paranoid's gonna connect? He needs to call for nobody to help him out, and he does. Nobody there on the bailout. They know the Tui's is there. Chichu closing on that gap too, but where the hell is Les in all of this? A mile away.
I'm saying no pinch comes through from Dish, and only nobody noted on the knife. So Les has to come back through spawn here. Chichu's going to note the reposition here, but no awareness.
Oh,
Tui's of his whereabouts.
Yeah, and Les will be kept here now. Hearing a couple of audio cues here and there. Les going to try and explore.
It's a mystery, though.
Yeah, it is.
EDG have drifted back towards Arcade.
Oh.
Smoke gives it away, though.
He's got a chance to do some big damage here. Oh, still so heads up from EDG, but roll the mind back to the start of that round. That was very curious.
Yeah, EDG stacked up initially right against the spawn barrier, but I'm not sure if it's just a last-second call. And then Aspas is thinking, yeah, we've only noted 1 on the north side with the knife, but he's on a wild slide out here, and the spacing just slightly off. Sadak's lucky to actually get back towards Arcade here.
Okay.
EDG set up the same way once again.
Keep it cool. That was a bonus, though. So, you know, we'll put it where it is. Rolling Thunder 2 away. Still going to have the Viper's Pit as well, ready to go this time. Knife going to get destroyed, but Sadak got to be careful now. Tested early towards tower as the 3 players from EDG close in. Almost mirroring that, Loud on the other side by Dish. Nobody. The off angle was good for him. They had no idea. Oh, not good enough on the shot. Aspas quicker on the adjustment. Look who's slipping further ahead. Kangkang's found so much space. He's even got a little bit of cover to play with as well. He's hungry for more. Ferocious approach, the flash connects. Oh, but Smoggy, the timing on the save. Perfect. Sadak deleted, the site is all theirs.
There's nobody peeking for info. Kang just walked up Arcade.
It ain't over yet though. 3v3 Rolling Thunder going to be sent. Kaunzine, Aspas, Tui's. We're going to try and close in towards the site. Kangkang's going to note that. Here's Tui's. Tap on the spike, they're not falling for it. How long is going to find Kaunzine? And Kangkang just waiting this out in the smoke. He knows where Tui's is, or has a fantastic idea of it. And Tui's outdoes him. Even all of that info for the trades there. Orbital strike almost feels overkill, but Aspas commanding a lot of respect here. Another tap on the spike. Chichu the willing first man to challenge. And EDG not doing Loud.
I mean, Sanak notes somebody there. The knife is destroyed. Immediately, EDG has 2 swing onto this tower angle. But then Kankang's allowed to shift walk onto site and catch less as he tries to put the pit down.
Goner.
I mean, that's just outrageous.
And that's the round that breaks Loud's money.
Yeah.
This closes the scoreline right back up. This is probably 8. I mean, yeah, no ults to play with either. So yeah, you're looking at likelihood of 8 to 9. Wow. That is a mistake. Taken a half for Loud, and one that's going to potentially haunt them here. EDG, of course. Well, if you're Kankang, you're grinning ear to ear, aren't you? You couldn't ask for a better start to that, just creep through to the site. Cool, are you on your ult? Wow, that's unlucky. And patience being shown here from EDG. Want to be careful.
Enemy kill.
And Kankang has his ult from this as well, so that's lovely for him. 2 away for Chichu. Sound like going to take that orb, though. Get out of there.
Sanak unable to stop this progress onto site just yet. I don't think he'll really have a say of denying the plant coming through either. Tui's looking to sweep back on the south side. Aspas and Kawanzine come back through arcade, but will be noted by an alarm bot. Kankang traded out.
Good trade.
But 3v4 now.
Still a little bit of kit, so they might be able to get themselves a the flank just got noted. Wow, nobody, so heads up. Still more to be invested. Tui's is not having a good day at the office here.
Remaining.
Pulls back a player to try. That round teed up from the one prior, breaking the bank of Loud. And then now, only 1 round away.
Lockdown available. 1 off the Rolling Thunder. EDG in a very good position here in round 18.
Yeah.
Ultimate's not quite there for Loud. But holding on to some funds here. A chance of maybe a forced purchase behind this. Again, it's risky when you see the stack of funds that EDG has sat on.
Speak of stack, we saw Loud trying this against EG a couple of times and actually worked out well. This time, not so much. EDG all too prepared, all too aware of what Loud tried to do. Read him like a book. Might just well shut this chapter. He's trying to hold him back all by himself, but he's got a flood against him. 3 players now making up by main, spotted out again, forced out of here. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. EDG are at the door. And the site's going to be theirs too. Les has nothing to say about this. He can creep close, but to make impact happen would be almost unthinkable. Change my mind, Les. It ain't gonna happen. EDG tying things up now, 9 apiece. And this is when you start panicking if you're Loud. This is when you get nervous if you're Loud. EDG have just started to work you out 4 in a row.
It must be so frustrating to play versus a team that just seems prepared for everything. The stars align once again, and the reactive utility shuts down this aggression from Loud. Aspas completely separated, isolated. I was curious of whether or not the force would come through. Looking like Loud are toying with the idea, but a timeout called here. 9-9 the scoreline. No command back online here. Tui's has the TP, but not the same sort of options on the EDG side of things.
They got a nice bit of money behind them too. 5K
Yeah,
on Chichu. Well, this is crunch time. I thought that half that they had, I thought good for Loud. Cool, we're gonna get the 3rd map here. Brilliant, let's take it the distance. Have that big test of these 2, well, newly formed giants apparently when it comes to EDG, but it might be cut short. it might genuinely be cut short, and EDG will become a terrifying prospect to meet in the lowers if they continue going forward. Shown diligence against the best around the world. That is a very small group of teams who've been able to boast that sort of reputation. They've come in here and absolutely turned heads, but it's not over yet. It's 9-9, right, tied up. Map 1, yes, it's out with EDG. There's game on now.
Loud need to remove some of these funds now, early on, before double digits, before we really start testing that recovery factor. So we might see something similar to what they employed a few times on Lotus. Kung posted up to solo, create some pressure outside A main here. Nobody actually regroups here with a flash. Aspas will be noted. They might just commit to the lockdown execution here, or at least try and fake off the back of it. They're drifting back towards Aspas.
It's all on his shoulders, and he's going to stand tall, takes down the first man in, and they've turned him away from this.
Oh, he gets the TP off, but he actually gets detained.
For EDG, they've got the sight. They lose out on one. They gain the time on their side. Ah, you can't get away with that. The smoke faded just in time for Les to catch you, trying to drift away from the spike. Now, how long nobody in Chichu? What do they have about this one? Sadak willing to put his life on the line to cross first, going to get towards the site himself. Flash there to supplement as well as the wall goes up. EDG forced away. Tap on the spike, and someone from EDG does need to check. Put their body on the line, and they do Chichu with one. That's all he can get. Nothing to follow from that. How long? And nobody now. High flash, they're all blind! Oh, they're all blind! Aspas just comes out of that. 33 HP. Loud gonna make it double digits here. That was a dangerous round.
I mean, if the timing's any better there, he doesn't peek ahead of the flash.
Yeah.
That could have been brutal. Because everybody from Loud fixated towards main here. Chichu nearly actually getting away with daylight.
I thought he had a second there as well, yeah.
I mean, yeah, Les the one that's, I guess, furthest forward, least affected by it. But like I said, Haldon caught it as well. Probably the worst end of it. Said that was the round we needed from Loud, though, to chip away at this financial buffer that EDG have, but another 2 rounds to go. Kung back on the operator now. Still got ultimates to play with. Smoggy back on the Rolling Thunder. Seeker's invested here by nobody.
Going to travel relatively far here. Show the aggression. Force the hand of Loud a little. Kang going to have to depend on the knife here. Pressure early. Haldong still alive, though. But the gap closed. Do they stick around on this? They do. Loud willing to challenge. And, well, falling to it too. Chichu is the one to try and draw that blood out. Kangang's still standing. He's hunting him down. He is wanting that one. Would put Les in his grave, but for now, Les stands, slips away to CT. Aspas is waiting on a dirty off angle. Middle of no man's land that time. Kang moves forward. Spots another. Can't find it here. Damage on Les is significant, though. He is willing to hold this line. Deny anyone try to take that space back. Yeah, moving away. He wants some dead. Falls away this time as the spike now goes down. Finds that next position to lean back to. Nice work from Sadak, though, readjusting well. He's got to be careful here. They're ready for him. Oh, he's so ready for him! Kang again dances away, 41 HP. Temptation to swing. It's going to be Chichu to get it. Answering right back. 10-10 now.
Kung is just so slippery. The flash comes through, the fragment as well, but Sadak punished on the peak. And he's always posted up. He's never backed into a corner. He's always holding an active angle. Tui's caught on the retreat there with the TP. I didn't even spot that.
Who could have predicted this?
Huge round to answer back with. Any of that momentum Loud would have had has now been absolutely broken because their money is
it forces Loud back onto a light purchase here.
The best they got is the ult from Aspas.
The best they got is 2 judges. And even then, again, with no investment here at the pit, maybe going to try and get a lesser purchase there and pass Sadak a rifle across.
Oh, look at the patience. Do need to use that utility a little early to make sure there's no stacks, no naughtiness going on. Those judges, bits and pieces, odds and ends, they can certainly try and work out. You can see Howdon very meticulously clearing. Outdo through their players here. Keep in mind, Aspas is one of them, and he is the one who can pop that ult if required. Don't do it again. Don't. I promise you, Sadak, it ain't the time. Needs to get away, and there's the ult pop. Lovely timing for Aspas. Does he continue this path? Yes, he wants a little more. Doesn't want to overextend, though. And there's the close from the other side of them. Map coming in, this is now worrying. They've lost a big proponent and any ability to change the outcome in this round. 2 players still tucked into tower, though.
So they actually repositioned here. Sadak was positioned on dice previously. Kang.
Oh, God. Oh. Beautiful work from Sadak to at least hold that side, but what more can you do? Judge going to close in. The only vulnerable player would have been Howdong down on 23. You're not going to be able to close that gap, but with the operator, I'll be able to do something a little bit better.
Problem being, though, EDG have been allowed to reset. They have the molly, they have the orbital strike here ready, and the time is ticking away for Loud to make a move, Lauren.
I don't know if they can do it.
They can't.
I don't think there's anything to be done. Tap on the spike, draws out the orbital strike.
Mid to the half, maybe.
Tuis has to die for this.
The molly's going to come in, though.
Ah, the shot's not even going to land. Let's just find Chichu. But this feels like a fruitless endeavor. Fallen on the knees, Sadak can stand no longer. EDG making it to 11. Closing in on a 2-0 against Loud.
Curious here what the decision for Sadak is. See with that Judge and Light Shield purchase, down to 250 in the previous, limited options here. Rifles elsewhere, Viper Spit and a Rolling Thunder to work with. But it's do or die now for Loud. There's nothing in the tank behind this.
This is the one. If you wanted to say in the matter loud, now's the time to speak up. Because as it stands, EDG are on the cusp of a towards A. All that temptation and want towards A main. 3 players hungry for impact, but you can look towards Dish.
Back door's open.
It is, and they have no idea. They're being drawn into this. Like moths to the flame, they want to so desperately hold them back. But look at that creep on the northern side, closing in. And it's going to be a burst. And they're going to try and overwhelm towards the southern side. It's great for Makuhari! There's no way! No! There's no way! He's done this! And beyond! That leaves Loud in pieces on the ground. They had.
Less will respond, but this one all but done. Let's finds a third, actually.
He needs
a 1v2. 57 HP, but
I don't think he's got time.
no. Time's already passed here. Nobody finds 3.
Stunned up, pressured, smoke just dropped.
I mean, Aspas even slides behind him, so he's got to fully reset to find the first. That's one of the most outrageous things I've ever seen.
I'm stunned. Les, he's desperately trying. I mean, he's had a very good individual game, but it's just not enough here. 12 for EDG.
I can't believe.
We have to watch that replay. Run it back for us one time here, because that was something else. He sees, stun, turn. Odd. Monstrous.
That is just...
It's a timeout for Loud. Of elimination. And their money is in pieces. You said it at the start of this, Mike. Start of that round just gone. That was everything they had. That was all of it, right? There was nothing behind that purchase, really. You can see it here. Well, we can, you can't. So far.
Yeah.
Viper's Pit for less. Work that out. What do they go for? And it's what... They're out of their depths.
We need another repeat of history where force that overtime.
I don't know if they got it
but
in